because I had to start with the top, with the squadron commanders, get them on board, get their chiefs on board, get their operations officers on board, and then move out.
It seems like such an ethereal thing to have to take a squadron and then try to get them to focus on something and kind of develop them in a very specific way. From a topical level, how did you do that?
It's a great question. For me, it was relatively simple to do, hard to implement, but simple in terms of thinking. My approach was establish clear standards of expectation and hold your people accountable. Simple as that. Much harder to execute than that, because your standards of expectation, if they don't align with what their standards of expectation are for themselves, you can force it on them. Don't recommend that. Or you can educate them. You can help them better understand the whys behind it. And once they understand the whys, they may not agree with what you're wanting to do, but if they understand that there's logic behind it, then almost every time they'll do it. So who did I have to convince? I had to convince the senior leadership first and help them understand this is where we're going, this is why we're going there, and this is what we're hoping to achieve.
Where did you get your initial standards of expectations?
I developed them myself. I looked at, so one of the things, I called the whole staff together, and one of the things that I asked them to do was, what are the mission critical activities that you do? Capture them succinctly and help me understand what they are. Then I went and looked at them. With each of the squadron commanders, I went and looked at, what are your critical mission activities? And then why are they critical mission activities? And I would ask a lot of questions. And I understood a lot of their operations, but I didn't know the details behind it. So I'd ask a lot of questions, force them to kind of think through those kinds of things. But then once that happened, then I asked them, how do you know when you've achieved that? And so I'd make them come back to me, and this didn't happen overnight. This was a back and forth, especially the very first deployment. They were the guinea pigs, because what I was doing, I was building my standards of expectation. So they came back to me and said, this is how I measure these types of things. So then we would tweak that. Some of them I didn't agree with, and some of them I did and understood what they were thinking about. But then what we did was we pieced all that together, so that on a daily basis, I would get briefed on exactly where we were with each one of those mission critical activities. And then we used stoplight charts to help us understand red, green, yellow. Once we had all that kind of ironed out, and we had a pretty good plan, and my squadron commanders and my chiefs and my operations officers were all on the same sheet of music, then we rolled it out.